Hello everyone, it is Jacob, and this will probably be the last update for this build because I'm pretty much finished. I've got everything that I wanted to try. I even got the precise skill conversion, which is not necessary at all, you don't need it, and I will not put it in the build planner. Damage, you can cap damage on dummy basically. I use this setup with Speed Phantom for bosses. If I would go like farm the Traveler or something, I would use this setup with Speed Phantom. And Fireburst. Fireburst deals more single target damage than Ring of Ice. And if I would go for blasting maps, I'm swapping to Ring of Ice and Frigid Transmission just to get faster through the map. So damage, cap in the dummy. And what I do for maps, I swap for Ring of Ice and I swap for Frigid Transmission with another charge through Magic Dash. Mob clear. Basically you can clear tier 8.4 maps easily. You can check it right here. 8.4. Let's go something. Let's go this. 8.4. You just max this out. The only mod that I don't like very much is the one that gives monsters the proximity shield, but that's a struggle for pretty much every build. Like, it is doable, you just run through the shields and everything dies. But yeah, you have to run through the monsters, which is not like, it kills the purpose of speeding through the map, not having to care about anything. Like, you cannot do this, you have to run through monsters when there is proximity shields on them. I will definitely die occasionally, especially through the Watcher attacks. Some of them are just hard to dodge. So this is a quick mob run. I'm doing statue of machines in pretty much everyone. Yesterday I've managed to farm 4000 FEs in a regular 8.4 maps. I'm not doing the deep space. So once you manage to stack yourself at the beginning of the map, you just run through it. The build has some basic source of explosion through Ice Imbue. For that to work, you have to freeze the enemies. So that's not the explode mod from chest, which explodes pretty much everything, but this one requires you to freeze the enemies. Let's do another map, maybe, if I can do something. I've demonstrated everything previously on Demimon Village, so let's run that map. See, this is the proximity shield, the protective dome, so if you don't want to run that, just reroll that one. And then it goes like this. So it is pretty fast on straightforward maps when you don't have to backtrack. It is a full Autobomber, and where you don't need to use cast on crit or cast while channeling. Everything is done through the illusion that Youga summons. That's his hero trait. And let's take a look on the build actually. what I've changed from the last build update, which the last build update I would consider a budget build using unique items which are easy to acquire and easy to build from. So I would still use the unique items build to farm for the gear that I have here. So some basic max mana on helmet with the mana consumption mod. Those are important mods, and the +1 spell burst is important. Like, you want as much mana as you can get on the build and spell damage through mana consumption basically. So that's the helmet I have. For armor, it's again max mana and then converting max mana into energy shield, or adding energy shield based on your maximum mana. Additional focus blessings. Focus blessings basically give you 2% of your maximum mana as cold damage. So you are stacking focus blessings. I believe I have like 16 of them. So that's this one. And for the dream crafting, you want to get percent mana on the implicit on the chest as well. So it doesn't matter which chest base you choose. You will like get rid of the implicit anyway, and you will want to swap it with max mana. Oh, that's it. The last mod, the crafted one here, occasionally gives you force start. So yeah, just use whatever you need. Maybe you are missing erosion resistance, so put erosion resistance there or some other resistance. Yeah, max mana, energy shield, focus blessings. Gloves. You want to have Dreamcraft for the critical strike rating per 100 mana sealed or 80 mana as the higher roll. So that would be these are Dreamcraft on gloves, and then you want +2 skills, max mana and some penetration. Yeah, so again these 4 mods. On boots, the core stats would be focus blessings, spell burst, charge speed, and I was again looking for max mana, and I was lucky enough to get one with deflection, which gives you like 30% damage reduction pretty much for almost all hits. So yeah, that's nice. That's a nice defensive layer there through deflection. So mana, spell burst, charge speed, focus blessings. On rings, you want focus blessings, mana, and I have resistance rings. There's nothing special on those rings really. The last mod here, I have flat spell damage, fire and cold. It doesn't really matter on the element. The ideal would be the percent mana and mana cost, which would require some change in the skill tree to lower your mana cost basically, but yeah, that would be 30% more mana if you get tier 0 on both of the rings. And for wands, I'm running 2 wands, I'm not running the unique shield anymore. And for wands you want +3 spell skill on both of them, double mana rolls on both of them, and additional damage for skills cast by spell burst on both of them. The rest doesn't really matter. I managed to get some spell crit rating on this one, which is nice. You want to make sure that you are 100% critting, which you can only check on the dummy. And on the other one I have chance to deal double damage, which is also awesome, and some critical strike rating again, so I'm critting 100% of the time. Stats like this. I don't care much about not capping the resistances, because the resistances will get capped through the map eventually, through the Eternity, which give you... Oh, it's max resistance, it's not okay. Anyway, I don't care about resistances during mapping, because the Eternity gives you so much defense anyway, here. So I get around 30,000 ES during mapping, during the good maps, so yeah. And for bosses, I would be swapping to this candle, which gives me 14% elemental resistance and caps the resistances for bosses, basically. Other than that, I'm using the control spell main skill, the support, and the 2% stacking candle. And the other one is grudge and some movement speed. And when I'm going bossing, I'm swapping to this control spell with elemental resistances. And when we are in the skill window, let's go through the skills. So Ring of Ice or Fire Burst, the links stay the same. For the control spell candle, you just want to make sure that you are 100% critting, and that's because of this mod, which gives you minus 55% non-critical strike damage. So yeah. Links stay the same even if you swap it to Fire Burst. Because even if you swap to Fire Burst, people were asking, like, Fire Burst is a fire spell, should I use a different curse? No, because if you check the info here, we are doing majority of the damage is cold spell damage anyway, even though you are using fire skill, because you are scaling cold damage through the maximum mana, through your focus blessings, and so this cold damage gets even higher when you stack up. Why Fire Burst deals more damage is because you are creating 100% of the time, and for every spell burst you have, it gets 30% additional critical strike damage for every hit through the spell burst. You have 6 or 7 spell burst charges, so yeah, that's a lot of damage there. Path of Flames, efficient cast, periodic burst, guard, and quick mobility would be the last link. If you don't have the energy for that, just drop the quick mobility. You will deal a little bit less damage. Doesn't really matter much. Periodic burst gives you a lot of spell burst charge speed recovery, because we convert cast speed to spell burst charge speed for the 2-second time window, so that's a 2-second time window where you deal a lot of damage basically. It's the same case for Secret Origin Unleash. I'm running Mania, Ceaselessness, and Rhythm to automate it. If you don't care about tapping it, you can add another mod like Well Thought to increase its effectiveness. And the Ceaselessness is there to make it possible to sustain it for longer. Its uptime is almost always with Ceaselessness. Without it, you would have to count that you have what's the base duration on it. I have no idea what's the base duration on it, but is it somewhere here? 2.5 seconds plus 0.4 seconds per focus blessing consumed, up to 10 times, so that's 6.5 seconds is the base duration. And the Ceaselessness increases that, and you are able to sustain it pretty much all the time. For the movement skill, Frigid Transmission, Psychic Surge. Psychic Surge increases damage for the next spell burst by 15%. Magic Dash, if you're using Frigid Transmission, then Magic Dash for +1 charges, and Quick Mobility. For bosses, or if you need more damage, Speed Phantom with Mass Effect. Psychic Surge and Quick Mobility stays the same. Speed Phantom gives you some additional spell damage. For every stack of Euphoria, you get stacks of Euphoria by hitting monsters with it actually. and Mass Effect for +1 max charge, and increase, and it increases the effect of the buff that Speed Phantom gives you. Mana Boil, that was in the build since the beginning, so yeah, it consumes mana and gives you a lot of damage, basically spell damage. Mania Mass Effect and Well Fought Battle. If you struggle with mana, you can swap Well Fought Battle or Mass Effect for Self-Sacrifice. For Self-Sacrifice to work, you need some source of life regen to stay above 35% of life. But I have it on my slate, so yeah, you can go for Self-Sacrifice. The mana ball will then consume less mana, which will allow you to sustain it a little bit better. Since we are not using the unique shield anymore, which was reducing the recharge speed of defensive skills by 99%, we can use auto defense now. So I'm using auto defense with Frost Shield, which reduces the physical damage and fire damage while it is up, and it also gives some spell cold damage to attackers when they attack you, actually, so yeah. Energy Fortress, more energy shield, it's pretty much obvious. Frost Spirit for percent mana regen. The more mana you have, the more this percent like regenerates, basically, right? So you want as much mana as possible. The last aura here is Erosion Enhancement. If you don't have the reservation, or if you don't have enough mana to reserve it, just drop this aura. It gives you for 14.5% additional damage to life. That's the mod that is important on this one. So you don't need a precise version on that, because that gives nothing. That gives erosion damage penetration, and you don't need that. Curse on hit or innate curse is the next link, linked with biting cold. So we are biting, colding the enemies on hit, increasing the cold damage we do to them and increasing the chance to frostbite them, which then lets you freeze them more often and reset the frigid transmission during maps more often. Frigid Domain increases the cold damage the enemies take around you. And Precise Magical Source. This is the aura that you definitely want to get precise, because precise version increases the mana regeneration speed, and it is 1% per level of the aura. If you don't have enough sealed mana reduction, just put this aura to lower level. I've been running with level 17 Magical Source for quite a while, because I wasn't able to keep my life high enough. And I'm using Precise Seal Conversion here. The regular Seal Conversion is enough. You just have to swap the Frigid Domain. And I was running like this. So I was running like this with the level 17. Yeah, that puts you above 35% life. I will show you why that's important later. But I've been running these auras on life. So what the Precise Seal Conversion allowed me to do is reserve a higher reservation aura on my life. This is 40%, while the erosion enhancement is only 30%. So the Precise Seal Conversion basically allows you to have more unreserved mana. Precise install. Okay, like this. So without precise skill conversion you will have lower mana pool basically, and you need around 1.2k mana to be able to sustain the mana cost of your skills. The last support skills, support auras, would be Euphoria on hit and Fixate to get some marks on enemies. Marks give them like 40% increased critical strike damage taken. You are critical striking all the time, so this is up all the time, and it gives you some chance to deal double damage. You get 5 stacks when you cast it on a boss, so that's like 32.5% damage, 32.5% chance to deal double damage on bosses when it procs, and it is proccing almost all the time through the map. So yeah. The next aura is Elemental Resistance. I actually figured later on that I need this aura because I'm not able to fit all the resistances on my gear. So yeah. And it also gives you, if you get the precise version, +1 maximum resistance, which is really nice for survivability. And the last here is precise Ice Imbue. If you don't have enough mana, drop this one. This one provides you a 20% chance to explode frozen enemies, basically. Now that's maybe the precise mod gives you 20% chance to explode enemies, and the regular version gives you explode on frozen enemies. Okay. That's it for the skills. And for the talent trees, Goddess of Knowledge, you are going for max mana everywhere you can, and for sealed mana as well. And pass spell skill, max focus blessing, that's it. Beacon, max spell burst, like you are spell bursting all the time. Insight, additional cost and additional spell damage. It's nice. If you have insight on your slates, get Burning Touch. That is, in my opinion, better than getting more attack speed here or cast speed here. So yeah, Burning Touch. Magister, again, max mana, some cast speed. If you don't care for more damage, you can get Energy Shield Regain here or AoE. Then defense, and the defense with resistances. Sealed mana here, that's important. And once you get enough gear, you want this for more skill cost. More skill cost means that you consume more mana per second, and you scale your damage through the mana that you consume over the last 4 seconds, so this helps with damage actually. And this for max spell burst, this for critical strike damage per focus blessing. You have 16 focus blessings with my setup, so that's a lot. And then max energy shield here. If you have the spare point, you can take this as well for a little bit more energy shield. The large passives here are Bunch for max focus blessings. And for me it is Barrier of Radiance, and I have Play Safe on my slate. If you have Barrier of Radiance on your slate, pick Play Safe here. You definitely want Play Safe because it converts your cast speed into spell burst charge speed. Oh yeah. And you definitely want Barrier of Radiance as well because it gives you a lot of regen when you need it. Because whenever your energy shield drops to low life through this node, I have this node on my slates. Whenever your energy shield drops to low energy shield, which is below 35%, it starts regenerating, and this talent provides it 50% energy shield charge speed, and the energy shield charge cannot be interrupted for 4 seconds. If the energy shield starts recently means in the last 4 seconds, the energy shield charge cannot be interrupted. So you are regenerating your energy shield for 4 seconds whenever it starts through this. Oh yeah, that's this. So if you don't, yeah, if you don't have this on your slides, you need to put 3 more points or 2 more points into this, into these two, and you can take them from the cast speed here, for example. Okay, so that would be these. For the Arcanistry, again, you are going for maximum mana, so maximum mana wherever you can take it. Here is some cast speed, and this one is nice because it restores 1% of your mana when using skills. So every time you use your Frigid Transmission, every time you use your buffs like Secret Origin Unleash, it recovers 1% of your max mana. Max mana here, and mana regeneration percent. Yeah, the percentage is better than flat numbers. Focus blessings, and this one provides you with focus blessings generation basically. So you definitely want this, because whenever you hit frostbitten enemies, which frostbitten enemies are all the enemies, because you frostbite everything, you have 25% chance to gain 1 stack of focus blessing. And through slates you are generating the other 2 blessings, agility and tenacity as well. So yeah, definitely this is really important. Max max energy shield here, and 9% of max mana as energy shield. This note is important because you scale mana, you have like 11,000 or 12,000 mana, so you get around 1,000 energy shield just from this. Sealed mana, this is important. As you can see, I've picked all the sealed mana nodes on the tree, and then this mana regeneration speed restores 2% of mana when using skills. So with this one, no, with this one that's free already, and you can get even more on your slates, 3%. And then this, if you struggle with mana, drop this one. Or if you get the mana mod on rings, which gives you percent mana and mana cost, then you drop this one. For the Statue of God, which are the slates, on your slates you want max spell burst on one of your slates. Then you want tenacity and agility blessings when receiving focus blessings on another slate. If you want to save 2 points, get the immediately starts energy shield charge upon entering low energy shield. And you want max focus blessing stacks on one of your slates. If you can get plus spell skills, plus fire skills, plus cold skills, plus all skills, yeah, that will increase your damage a lot. For a Corner of Divinity, I've gone for spell skill used for each spell skill used recently, critical strike damage. So that's 60% critical strike damage here, because you dish out the spells so fast that this is stacked up almost immediately. And here I have at least some source of life regen, so I have that here. This one gets scaled through your gear later on when you get the belt, so yeah. And for my pedigree, I'm going play safe here. The other mod just get some passive that helps. It doesn't really matter. Play safe or Berry of Radiance. That's important in my opinion on the pedigree. And on this one, I have some cast speed per stats. It does not really matter what you get here. I'm keeping this because of this, which gives me 8% chance to paralyze cursed enemies, and paralyze pretty much gives me 10% additional damage. Oh yeah, that's slates. The reason you want to stay above low life is the belt, which gives you elemental amplification, which is aura that you don't have to reserve if you get it through the belt, but you have to stay above low life. when not at low life, so you have to stay above low life, above 35% of life. So yeah, hero traits. For backup body, you want additional damage for illusion and additional illusion damage. Realm breaking soul thing, that gives you this talent. If you are zooming maps, you don't need that, but it helps with tankier airs and tankier bosses where you stand in your circle. It is stuck in over 6 seconds, so if you stay in the circle for even just 1 second, you get 14% illusion damage, which is pretty much the same, almost the same you can get from regular memory. But when you stay in the ring longer, it stacks 6 times, so that's 84% additional damage if it is fully stacked. So yeah, that's why this costs so much. It is around 500 or 600 now. And for the illusion to consume all the spell burst, I'm using this. The other way to make your illusion consume, or to make the build possible to consume the spell burst, is by getting the chance to trigger the main skill again when dealing damage. But yeah, I've gone with this because it is really cheap solution to that. So yeah, those are the memories. As of prices, like the build now, what I've put into it is around 8 or 9k FEs. Yeah. The cheaper version of the build with the uniques is around 1.5k or maybe 2k, so yeah, that would be the budget. And yes, so that's it for this build. I will put the builder to the description of the video. I hope you guys liked it, and I hope you guys subscribed to the channel, and I will see you in the next one, or maybe in the next season probably. Yeah, so thank you for watching, and bye.